We're going to call it when it comes to meeting to order. Celebrate state when I'm forward 5:35 p.m. Roll call.
Carol McIntyre. President. Joseph King.
Present.
Linda Booth. Present. Patrick Julian.
Present.
Billy Dansler. Michael Hutchison. William Harris. Michelle Bowling. Frida Williams. Here.
That's six present. Three absent. Three absent. Would anyone like to say a little word of prayer? William.
Most gracious Heavenly Father, I'd like to thank you. Thank you for this day. Thank you for each and every individual represented here tonight. Father, touch each of us so that we can continue to do the work of the city of Flint. Father, please allow the words of our mouths and the meditation of our spirits be acceptable in your name. All these blessings asked in your darling Son, Jesus' name, and for our amen.
Amen. Okay, next on the agenda, public speaking.
First public speaker is AC.
Well, hold up. I'm not. I gotta get this done. Each public speaker's gonna have 3 minutes. We got a timekeeper. He's gonna 5 minutes, 10 minutes, 10 seconds before you should end your public speaking. I will let you know, and we want you to stop at that point. The rules, so we can move on swiftly. We only got so much time to be here. And we will entertain. We want you to be polite and orderly, and we're going to try to get through this as quick as we can. So now we're open for the first public speaker.
The first public speaker is AC Dumas.
You gotta put your name to talk.
Yes.
Where?
That sheet. She'll give to you right here.
You doing this, I'm doing that.
No, orderly. Let's be quiet.
Just right
I got a public speaker here.
Put your name on here.
Name, like city council name.
Good afternoon. My name is AC Dumas, and I am the resident of the city of Flint. And what I would like to read is section 1001 from the Flint City Charter, talking about the oath of office. I think this is very important. It was adopted by the electorate. And it reads as thus: every elected officer and appointee before entering in official duty shall take and subscribe the following oath. I do solemnly swear or affirm that I will support the constitutions, and that's what the S on it, of the United States and the state of Michigan and the charter of the city of Flint, and that I will faithfully discharge the duties of the office on behalf of all the citizens of the city of Flint to the best of my ability, and shall file the oath duly certified by the officer before whom it was taken in the office of the Flint City Clerk. And this is very important. This section of it says, ordinance required in the public interest. Everything you do as elected and appointed official has to be in the public interest. The purpose of this section is to provide a method of protecting the public interest in the electoral and governmental affairs of this city. This section recognizes that the proper operation of the city government requires that public officers and employees be independent, impartial, responsible, to the people. The decision and policy be made in the power and the proper channels of governmental structure.
Right.
The public office or employment not to be used for personal gain, like they do in the city council, you know, all that. Not to be used for personal gain. That the integrity and operation of city government be subject to scrutiny by the public. It's our responsibility of the public to scrutinize elected officials and appointed officials.
Yes, sir.
We're supposed to scrutinize you and the city attorney. Let me continue. I don't have 3 minutes. Not compatible, the best interest of the city be defined and prohibited. And prohibited means it's against the law. You can't do that. It's a no-no. The city shall adopt by ordinance and standards for the conduct of public affairs and may be deemed necessary and proper to further the intent of, how many? Okay, So when you see recalls, the state law allows for recall. That is the election, and you can go to the state law and see it. And so I'm saying this, I got about a minute left, a few seconds left, that you all held accountable to the people. This is a government of the people, for the people, and by the people. It's the people's government, not yours. Thank you.
Next speaker.
The next speaker is Arthur Woodson.
All right, no problem. Arthur Woodson, let me start off by saying, if I'm not mistaken, in the charter, it states that the city attorney works at the pleasure of the mayor. If I'm not mistaken.
No, that's wrong.
Well, the city attorney is appointed by the mayor. I know that's right. So why is this right here an independent board that will investigate the mayor's office and the city council or any city official? Why are you all taking opinions or anything else from the city attorney? Why are you even going by what they say? Because they are biased. They are biased. They don't work for the man, his best interest. Period. What I don't see with some people here in the city, I'm not going to just say you all. You take positions and you're not independent. You don't have an just because the mayor appointed you to this body doesn't mean you have to do what the mayor says. Just because Liddell Lewis appointed you to this body doesn't mean that you have to do what Liddell Lewis said or any other council person. It's sad to see, because all I heard at one time was subpoena, 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 subpoena. But as soon as Trishelle Young got on this board, all you hear is letter, 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 letter. I mean, I'm just telling you the truth. That's what I heard. That's what I see on the video. And then y'all sit back and watch the mayor break all types of laws. I shouldn't have to come and file a complaint for you to investigate. Did the mayor tell Chief Barton to lie and then fire him? I shouldn't have to file a complaint on that. Y'all got subpoena power. The ombudsman got subpoena power. City council got subpoena power. Y'all can call him right here. He is a lawless mayor. And not one time do I really hear you all getting after the mayor. It's always the city council coming up in here talking about Liddell Lewis talking about Tanya Burns stole her lollipop.
That's true.
Bull crap. They come up in here like y'all a school teacher and they students, and y'all sitting up here going along with it instead of really investigating real stuff like breaking them up. Matter of fact, if you've do the rules, break the rules in the charter, you can be charged with a misdemeanor. Mayor Neely is on video saying that he knows that he is violating people's rights by putting the metal detector in City Hall. Why aren't you investigating that? Because, hey, they're not there now. Because of the simple fact it was against the rules. He, as a public body, can change open meeting acts and put rules, but not the mayor. So that should be something that you're investigating without anybody coming and filing a complaint. That's what the Ethics and Accountability Board is for. Fake contracts. Oh, all right. What? 10 seconds? Wrap up. Wrap up. I'm
Wrap it up.
I'm done.
Next speaker, please.
Melissa Z.
It's okay.
Okay. Missy Z. Melissa Sanders.
This is the first time actually coming to this board. Usually I have to stay at home and watch online because, well, my son has mental behavioral issues and he is a kid that can't stay quiet. But I've been seeing how things have been done is actually really sad. I mean, you guys even let some counsel come in and speak what they wanted, but they weren't even speaking the whole truth, you know?
That's right.
Doug Matthews came in, I mean, he only told a little portion of the truth. He didn't put in what he was saying, what he was doing, you know? If you don't want threats against you, don't sit there and make a poster about Tanya Burns calling her a snake and putting a report out that are alive for her. I mean, just don't do that. I'm just seeing all these things that councils are doing and nothing is being done. Like Liddell Lewis, she sat there and went on, did a press conference about Dennis Pfeiffer. She couldn't even tell the whole truth about that. She made it where he was this white racist dude, and that wasn't the case. He misspoke. And other people knew that. If you guys are going to hold people accountable, please do so. Stop playing these games. Don't sit there and say, well, we're going to subpoena them, and don't do it. Start doing what you say, because, I am that person that looks at your actions versus your words. You could say anything, but your actions are more important, So, thank you for listening to me, and have a blessed day.
Thank you.
Next speaker, please.
Kermit Lyons.
Kermit Lyons. I'm just here in support of Ms. Little and hoping you guys do the right thing by her.
Thank you. Next speaker.
Beverly Leary. Levy. Okay.
Hi, my name is Beverly Biggs Levy.
Hey, Ms. Biggs.
We're tired of people putting people in a spot, and then your people say she's not qualified, but she's been doing this job for 15 months. She has all kind of degrees. I don't know her at all. Never met her. But we putting these people in the spot, and then you want to say, Attorney Kim want to say she's not qualified. Attorney Kim needs to take his bald head.
That's the right thing.
He needs to sit down because he's doing all the wrong things, and whatever Liddell them want him to do, that's what he's doing. He's a yes man. And the 7th Ward girl, she's a yes girl. And to y'all look at these boards, I know you have been there several times. I've seen you in the meetings several times. And you know that they're doing wrong. But we gotta quit turning our heads, knowing that this council is doing wrong, and don't say anything. You got your 5 foolish, and that's what they are to you, 5 foolish. Because Quincy come here one time, Quincy could barely walk, talk. And he said, y'all just mad because I'm that 5th vote. We already know it's set up. If you're going to say on air, I'm that 5th vote, what are you here for? But when he wanted them to take the trash and don't do trash on Martin Luther King Day, none of his folk foolish agreed with him.
That's right.
So everybody gotta wake up, even now. But he stormed out like a little girl when he found out that they didn't agree with him. You know, he don't want to say critical thinking, but your sidekicks wasn't thinking about critical thinking. So his stuff just got blown up on him. Then he gets mad. Don't get mad. The way you take it, keep going with that five foolish, because they're going to send you to hell.
May I ask for the order? We don't want to get most of the personal stuff there. I mean, we can say what we got to say without getting personal.
It's personal.
So let's, we're not here for that. Let's keep it over there.
You got that?
Next speaker.
Carl Lewis.
All right. How y'all doing? My name is Carl Lewis. I ain't no Kenny Lydell. Straight up. But I'm here to come support my sister. Don't know her, but one thing I do know, she got more degrees than the mayor.
You got that right.
I'm gonna come from her, and she been holding it down with her own money, everything. How dare, not all y'all, but we know where it's coming from. Now, I was held accountable for selling drugs, right? I did my time. Y'all the ex accountable board. Y'all got the whole city council. Come on, man. They took $40 million and ain't nobody got a hot water tank, nothing on the roof, nothing. Come on, y'all in the same city we in. Y'all see what we see, and it's like, now, not to get in my feelings, I didn't vote for the mayor, period. I know a snake, straight up. And it's like, wow, boy, you grew up here, and this what you do? Now here we are, and you say, brother, don't make it personal. It's very personal. You got taxpayers, all this. And you know, I don't come to knock nobody, but when you do wrong, you just do wrong. And that, how Mama Bear said, the foolish father do that what they did, that's scurvy, man. And then you come, Quincy come, and drag yourself out there, sick, to get Eric Mays out. Y'all see the same lens we see, but you know what? We're gonna stand up as a people, straight up. Thank you.
Next speaker.
Audrey Young Muhammad.
Yes, I'm down here also in support of Ms. Shasta Little. Just myself and my background and knowing the hiring process, my understanding is that she applied and was qualified to have an interview. Because I've never heard of anyone being interviewed who didn't qualify for a position as such. You have to go through some pre-qualification process. So they had to have looked at her resume, did a background check, all that stuff to make sure she was okay. They interviewed her, and then last week, or a couple weeks ago, you all made the offer and she accepted it. Now, Attorney Kim, as many of the other citizens have already said, his best interest is the city. And then it's supposed to be the whole council, though we know he don't represent the whole council. It's selective when he wants to and when he chooses to. How is he going to come in? He can't come in. You all are supposed to be the force that's supposed to hold him accountable. So he can't come in and hold you all accountable for making the decision to hire a qualified candidate. She's qualified. We heard Ms. Tanae Dorsey come in here and say why she hired Ms. Shasta when she came in and why she is qualified. We also heard her saying some things you can't teach a person, which is integrity and character, which she possessed. You could teach her how to do the job and the fundamentals of it, and she has already proven herself. If she wasn't doing the job, you ought to let her go. She'd have been gone more than 15 months ago. She'd have been gone before she even got a chance to be the interim in that position. So I'm standing firm with her that she needs to be the person who we have in that ombudsman's office. She's more than qualified. Don't set yourself up for failure. by not allowing her to have that position. We already know it's a lot of things that go on in city council, down in the mayor's office, that definitely should be looked at. It's a lot of things that I've brought to you all, and we come in and talked about it. Nothing has ever, I can't say nothing has ever come about it, but I haven't seen it. And what I've heard Art Woodson say about those subpoenas that turned into letters, I was there when I heard that the mayor would be subpoenaed by the next meeting, and it never happened. I was there and heard when it said the letters was going to be written and given to him and to Clyde Edwards, and it never happened. That was what, last summer, June, July or something, and it never happened. So now my question is, and I have asked it, and I actually put it on social media, who holds the Board of Ethics and Accountability accountable? Because you all are not doing what it is you have promised the citizens you were going to do, and you were appointed to those positions. We want you all to be accountable to us, because we look to you all to do what you're supposed to do. Just care about the citizens. We look for you all. We don't look for you all going to tell somebody they need to go, they fired or whatever. Okay, but we look for you all to be held accountable. Thank you.
Wilbur Jerry.
This is Wilbur Papa Jerry. And his baby boy. I don't need to talk that loud. I come to ask a question. Do the Ethics and Accountability Board have a permanent office? Do they have a permanent meeting place? Why am I late going to the, down in the hole, to what y'all call that, whatever it is, the dome, leave the dome, go up to the council meeting room, nobody there, and I'm coming over here. Why are we over here? That's the question I want y'all to ask from me. Who have the authority to prevent y'all from using the dome or any property that the city owns and y'all a city entity? Who's y'all vote? That's why I'm asking. If y'all got the guts, that's the question I want answered tonight. That's why I'm here. Who is the council lady that you keep talking about? Who is she? It's just that, I mean, who is that? Little ombudsman lady. Right there.
Right here.
Can you introduce yourself?
My name is Shasta Life Little.
Who else didn't know who she was? Mm-hmm. All right. I'm sorry. I didn't know who she was. So I think you need to know me. You need to know Miss Beverly. A lot of these people in there, Mr. Gilchrist. You need to know a lot of people to give you support, to try to help you in your position and to establish the ground rules for the Ethics and Accountability Board against this administration, employees of the city, because that's your job, is to hold. We elected you, the ombudsman. We put that in the city charter to protect us from the employees of the city, protect us from the administration and the elected officials. So you need to get you some support, like my support, and Miss Beverly's support, and everybody in here, folks. Leroy told you on folks I don't even know. So you need to introduce yourself to the city of Flint some kind of way. Thank you.
Next speaker is Sherry Allen.
Hello, I'm Sherry Allen. I have a big concern about the Ethics and Accountability Board. Do you understand how important this board is? You are the last defense we have in this city.
That's right.
It's like being in the military. If the first time soldiers go down, who goes down? The whole army. You got to stand up. You got to be our voice. You got to take control in the city hall going on because too much corruption going on. You got the right to stop it. You know what's going on. Each and every one of you. And I understand. This is your livelihood. I don't want to lose my job either. I got mouths to feed.
They don't
I got
get paid.
clothes.
Y'all don't get
We don't get paid.
They don't get
We
paid.
go through a lot and don't get paid.
I got to get paid.
Not
Oh,
a nickel.
come on.
Not a nickel.
No. Wrong committee, wrong board.
You got to get something. You got to give us something here.
We don't get paid.
Okay, well, if you don't get paid, you need to.
We get selected
Well, get selected and selected to do what though?
with a resume
With the resume to do what?
to be accountable.
To protect the city,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
Citizen.
To uphold the city charter, the
Oh,
city charter.
Well, nobody's upholding charter. Where we go then? Where we go from there?
That's right.
Where did we go?
Absolutely.
I
Well, y'all
agree.
supposed to know. Who's policing y'all?
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah,
That's right.
Keep sweating.
right.
Keep sweating.
I'm responding at the wrong time.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, because we don't want to eat your time. Go ahead.
Oh.
We'll give you extra time. We'll give you extra time. We'll be fair.
I'm not trying to beat y'all up. All I'm trying to say is this. This woman right here, she held it down for the city. She was our strong support we had. Matter of fact, she's our only, besides Carol and Miss Dan. I'm not taking away from the rest of you, but you got to have some strength in your voice and your purpose to take care of what's going on in the city.
That's right.
If you don't care about the city, let somebody else take that volunteer seat. Because we need some voices. And I'm not just talking to you. I know you got, you're doing this good. If y'all let this go down and let Mayor Neely win on this, you drop the whole city. We don't have no respect for you. I don't care who you are. You got to walk these streets just like we do. You got to come to the grocery store just like we do. And we're going to look at you the same way we look at you right now if you don't hold ground for us.
That's
We're
right.
tired of it.
That's right.
Wrap it up.
And I'm not going to get emotional. All right. Just do the right thing. Keep this lady in there.
That's right.
Next speaker is Quincy Murphy.
Good evening. Good evening. I am Councilman Quincy Murphy of the 3rd Ward, and I come here tonight. This is my second time coming here. I usually don't come here. The last time I came here because you guys sent me a letter to come and speak before you guys on some concerns concerning this city council. I want to speak briefly on the letter that the attorney put out to us about the hiring. It's unfortunate that you got put in the middle of whatever situation dealing with the hiring. Hopefully that could come up with a resolve. But let me encourage this Ethics and Accountability Board because your colleague, Mr. Williams, responded to the email on my response to the city attorney that sent it to 18 colleagues concerning the hiring. What I suggest that you do, because you told me to stay in my lane, and I am a city councilman, and the business of the city is my lane. And if I respond to the city attorney letter, I wasn't personally responding to you. I was responding to the letter that the city attorney sent out to 18 of us concerning the hiring practice. What I would suggest that you do is, if you have a problem with anything that I sent in an email, that you do like everybody else should do, and that is file a complaint with the Ethics and Accountability Board about the email that Councilman Murphy responded to the city attorney, and not you personally, because now you personally, as an Ethics and Accountability Board, you're not even giving yourself an opportunity to file a complaint based on the email that I responded to, and I only asked some questions. And never was Councilman Murphy ever trying to hire or fire a bondsman person. That is not my role and responsibility. It's the role and responsibility of the Ethics and Accountability Board to hire the a bondsman. And hopefully you guys did it the right way. But you came at me at an email that I thought was inappropriate. So I thought it was appropriate that I come here and speak before the whole board on this response to the Ethics and Accountability Board member, William, and I think it's more personal with him versus him really having an issue with my policies and the way I go by doing business. I am a city councilman. I am elected until other things happen. So that's my job to protect this city of Flint by all means necessary. And if you have a problem with anything I did, I suggest you file a complaint and do a letter and let this board decide whether the email that I sent out was inappropriate and not based on your personal opinion. Thank you.
Excuse me. Next speaker.
Tanya Burns, Councilperson Tanya Burns.
Thank you.
Okay, well, thank you, and to the Board of Ethics, thank you for serving. I know that you are chosen to do this job and you are not paid, and it is a lot of work. Unfortunately, this forum has become a forum for people of the city council to voice their grievances. And most of them, and a lot of them tend to, who are on the city council, they use the charter to wipe their behinds with. So when they don't follow the charter themselves and they pretend to be charter experts or scholars, they should not be coming to you. And it was unfortunate last week with the barrage of emails that did come that I did read. Thank you, Mr. King, for speaking up, and Mr. Harris, when you spoke of that. And I did read for you, Ms. Frida Williams, your email also that allowed the board to take care of your own business. And that is what should be allowed. City council should not be interfering in your board. Not at all. We have no place to do it, especially we have a tremendous amount of issues of our own. It is not a place to come air grievances. As far as if I don't like this person, you had another person, Councilwoman Kensley Shatton, came to say that I weaponized my race and my color as a woman because she had not heard the racial undertones and racial statements of accounts of a resident, Doug Matthews, who was seeking like, come here, dog, and my colleagues did not say anything. It's recorded. So what my colleagues stand up for some, because sometimes the wrong things. But I appreciate you standing in the gap. But let me be clear, Ms. Shax Little is not my relative. If she were, I will take her to my relative, but she is not my relative. When she is being put on social media, it is unfair what you're going through. I had another problem with Attorney Kim. He has a responsibility to remain biased because he's representing, his office is representing this board. When he sent the email out stating housekeeping, you have some housekeeping. He has a strange relationship with, I think, with cultural things. And what that immediately took me to, because we're not too far removed from our grandmothers, and my grandmother was a maid. They need to understand that when you say housekeeping, that you, Ms. Shaxson Little, are not the help. You're not a maid. You are a person that the board has elected, and we need to respect your position and your authority. You are not the help, nor are you to be referred to as doing the housekeeping when his house is in disarray and disorder itself. So I want you to know I support you, and I support this board and us staying out of it. However you rectify it, because we have the city administrator, Clyde Edwards, who was not qualified with the 7 years and 5 years of municipality experience, but they made a way, and he is now the city administrator. And he's not the only one. So there's always a way. Always a way. And I want this board to know that when I read your emails and I see them, I appreciate it. I appreciate it where your stance, whether I agree or disagree, that you're saying, hey, this is our voice, we are standing in the gap, and this is what we are doing as a board to move forward together. So I don't want to air any more grievances, but Mr. King, I do want to say this. We need to be careful when people come here and make racial statements. Councilor Shack knew that Doug had made wrote a whole story about me, and made me the villain and made himself a white sheriff with a white hat. He's made the dog motions to me. He referred to my skin as not only orange, that my color is orange. He also said that my color is not black, but I'm pumpkin colored.
So this is a man, yes, I came and spoke, because in order to hold this position, you have to remain unbiased. He does not possess that ability nor that skill set, and I'm going to speak and stand in the gap for that. That I am. When another councilwoman comes here to defend that, that is outrageous. Candice Michelle had no reason defending this and telling a barrage of lies to this board. She was wrong. But I support you in your efforts and however you rectify that. But if you're going to do anything with HR, ask HR how many other people who were not qualified, who did not meet the municipality experience, get hired. This is for your board to figure out. You made the selection. We have to respect the position and the authority of not only you, but also the president and the vice president and the other positions, secretary and treasurer on this board. So thank you.
Last speaker, Rose Morrow. Hello, everyone. My name is Rose Morrow, and I'm a resident of the city of Flint. First, I want to thank you because I know you guys don't get paid for doing this. But even though you don't get paid, we just ask that you be our voice and do the right thing. Because right is right and wrong is wrong. I kept hearing about this story since it's been going on in regards to Ms. Little, what was done to her. From what I've heard, I've never heard not one bad thing about her. Nothing but good things. I don't even know her. But I watch the news, I read the newspaper like everybody else and social media. I think it's wrong that what was done to her, if she can do this position for 18 months.
That's right.
And she had experience, why didn't they say something previously? I don't care when she put in for it. Okay, because I don't know when she put the application in. But bottom line is, if she's been doing this job all this time for 18 months by herself, under the conditions that I heard was she was doing them in, paying for her own training. And I have done that in the past too, because you want to do the best job you can so you can get promoted.
That's right.
You got other employees, and I ain't calling them names, but like everybody said, everybody don't have a degree. And I was always told, and I know for a fact from my previous commanders, you could have all the degrees you want to have and have a doctor's title and still be dumb as hell.
That's right.
And don't know what you're doing. But if you got an employee,
You know her?
now, back to Miss Little. I think it's wrong. And then to give her the job, and you guys gave her the job, to my understanding, you had the authority to give her the job. This goes beyond you guys. This is about if you're not in a clique with the right person, and you don't do what this person wants you to do, or then they got employees down there that I know for a fact is being threatened with their job. You shouldn't have to work under those type of conditions.
That's right.
And if it's true what they said, Ms. Little, about them putting your personal information out there, that's a lawsuit. Somebody can be held responsible for that.
That's right.
And I know that for a fact. Your employer, the city, and in regards to the city being sued, I can't tell you what to do. But then there's also the civil side. Whoever that was that put your information out, you can get not only just the city, but that individual too. And I'm quite sure you probably know this or somebody has said it to you. But I just wanted to say it's wrong. Thank you guys for what you do, because we need this. We're trying to move the city of Flint forward, not backwards. And if people wanted to care about the city, I understand everybody want to be in it, advance themselves or get another certain positions. But the thing about it is, we need to take our city back. And that's what we're trying to do.
That's right.
With these recalls, that's what we're doing. And like I said at the city council, I will personally be participating. I don't live in all these wards, but I will be standing by Ms. Bev and everybody else, going recalling people. Second task is to find somebody for those positions that's in the best interest of the city.
That's right.
Because this is wrong. Thank you. Thank you.
The last speaker.
Yes.
Okay, well, each board member, you have 1 minute to reply.
1 minute.
You could have,
Joe, did you say 1 minute? I didn't hear him. I'm sorry. I
He didn't say 1 minute. He said 3.
He said one.
Said what?
He said 1 minute.
He said 3.
That's you.
You said 2.
He said 2.
What you said, Joe? 2?
Look here,
2.
you're not gonna be quiet, let me deal with my board.
We trying to hear what you said.
I'm just trying to hear what you said. Y'all ain't got no mic, Joe.
All right, we don't have to, I'm not gonna allow all that stuff here today.
Okay.
Now, what I'm gonna, before I'm gonna But I'm gonna, that's what we have on the agenda, but I am, as a board member, we'll be later with what we're taking on the agenda. You can speak, but we don't want you, we're not gonna take it into, to the stream. But we have such a lot of speakers this evening, and you're not gonna be able to address all the concerns, but I'm gonna give you the opportunity to address what you can with the reasonable time. With that, I will start with Mr. Harris. You got your hand up.
My apologies for coming in late. I got off of work. In response to the gentleman, why it's hard for us to try to find the location, because normally we're in the McKenzie room, and the McKenzie room is a fourth of the size of this room. So normally when we have response and we know that we're going to have a large crowd, we try to find out a larger venue. But what happens is if somebody has already booked that venue prior to ahead of time, we can't use it. In response to Councilman Murphy, who left out of here without hearing a response, I myself was not the only one that responded to him. Board member Frida Williams also responded to him. And I responded in the manner of that city council has no business in interfering with EA board members or anything that goes along with the board. Councilman Murphy responded in an email saying that he wanted to take this to governmental affairs, saying that he wanted to open up an investigation, saying that he wanted to open up an inquiry and use his power and authority as a council person to investigate what was going on. And I politely reminded him as the vice chairman of this board with certain charters, as the charter gives us oversight of the ombudsman, that this is a board issue, not a city council issue, and that I advised him that it would be wise to not overreach and overuse his power and authority as a council person, but to remain in his lane, like we do with him and we do with city council when it's necessary. I asked him to remain in his lane. So he's not here, but obviously he can watch the proback, and that's my response back to that.
Right.
He deserves a applause.
Anyone else?
I would just like to say that, I know a lot of the citizens in the city of Flint are frustrated, and we're trying to do the best we can to move the city forward. Because when I took an oath of office, I took an oath to make sure that I tend to the business of the city of Flint, not my own business. And I'm not biased. I try not to be biased and approach anyone, in a negative way. And I'm finding out that, the city, the council have set a standard where everybody in the city has followed suit with the aggression, the anger. If they're not in control, we have the mayor, then we have city council, then you have us on the organizational chart. But if it's anger up here and nobody's working together and it filters down, now we're not like that. We're not like that, but we're getting all kind of feedback. We work pretty well together. We don't, we have, every now and then we have some issues with, members, but it doesn't go further than the room. But, we took an oath the city council took an oath of office, just like we did. And we're not going to babysit them. They supposed to, we're not going to sit in their chamber and babysit them. We done sent letters to each one of them and told them, about their conduct and their character, and remind them that they took an oath to serve this community, the citizens of Flint. And another thing I want to say, we have elections coming up. Voters going to have to be more vigilant in how they select candidates, how they select leaders, because we haven't done a good job And I'm not gonna say any names since the first recall we had. We've been going downhill ever since.
That's right.
And whether you wanna admit it or not, it's our fault.
That's right.
Because we let people out of our community come in, get our jobs. Now, Miss Little live in Flint. I live in Flint. And I can't get anything in the city. And I done served on the boards ever since 1997. Put it like that. But we're gonna have to be more vigilant in how we vote for leaders because we're not doing a good job. You know, you gotta research people. You can't go by who support who like who don't like who, or this city is gonna be taken over and it's not gonna be by us. So we can keep playing if we want to and disrespecting each other, on committees and, in the chamber. We're gonna have to stop it. We're gonna have to start listening to each other because, I ain't gonna say no more. Cause, I ain't gonna say no more.
Amen.
I ain't gonna say no more, but we're gonna have to do better. This city gonna be taken over. We wanna take our city back. It's another group wanna take over the city. So keep playing.
Anyone else want to any other board member want to address the public? Any other board member want to address the public? If not, let me say, just to all you guys, I'm glad you're here. I wish you have been showing up a long time ago. For this board to move, this is what it takes. Our power is you all. Okay, without you all, we're just here spending time. They're spinning wheels. Now, there's a couple of things that was asked, I believe, Mr. Woodson asked about, legal departments. The attorney, it's his job to handle the legal of the city. It doesn't matter who it is. That's his job. We have limited to what we can do. This board do not have a budget. We don't get paid. And in order to do the job we have, it's going to take funding. We're trying to, we put it in that book budget, but that's one of the downfall of this. And when the charter was written, no one had an idea that this job would be this kind of time consuming. This board should have been paid for it. And I'm spending the first time running back and forth trying to do a job here and I'm doing my own business. So, it's a challenge, but this is what the power is. This board was voted on by the residents standing between. So without you all, we're not gonna be able to move because you don't want to violate the charter. But how are we gonna make them enforceable if we have no funding? So, that's a plan that I will chime in later on as we go through the meeting. That might make more sense, but we're gonna have to get some of the business done on the agenda. And, you are hopeful that you stay and you can see that we are trying. We are trying. So, with that, we go to the next, what I have on here. Second agenda is vote for entertain the approval of the agenda.
Mr. King, Mr. King, could I ask a question? Could I ask a question? Could I ask a question?
Could you ask a question?
Yeah, I'm
Go ahead.
So you want to say to the body that, are you saying, ask a question, are you saying to the body that you guys don't have the authority to do what you want to do? Is that what you're saying? I was trying to get some clarity on that.
No, I didn't, no, that's not what I said. You can misinterpret. We got authority to do certain things. But there's a lot of more things in that on to make that happen. But, I answer that question later, that now I want to move on with my agenda.
Mr. Chair.
Yeah.
I'd like to move to make a motion to amend the agenda to discuss the committee's report that the committee report for the board's budget.
You wanna add it?
Is it? I'm sorry, forgive me.
It's here.
Is it? Okay,
Yes,
okay.
it's here.
I withdraw my motion. I'm sorry.
Okay.
And, I entertain a motion for the agenda.
I'm second.
Board proper second, accept the agenda as the, suggestion. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Opposed? Move on to review the minutes. Our last meeting. Yeah, last meeting.
You got two, the remainder of the 90 minutes and the last week's meeting.
Okay.
They went through the plans, so this was something.
I would entertain a motion.
We have two sets of minutes, so I make a motion that we accept the Ethic and Accountability Board meetings dated 1/25/24.
Motion on the floor to accept the minutes. 9/24. I have a second.
Support.
What's been made and properly supported? All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? No opposed?
I make a motion to approve Ethic and Accountability Board meeting minutes for January the 9th, 2024.
Second.
Motion second is to accept the minutes for the minutes for 1/9/2024. Bob second. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So opposed? Next item on the agenda is discussion. We have 4 discussion items here. Legal opinion for Attorney William Ken. Response letter from Joseph King. Housekeeping letter from Attorney William Ken. Response letter. Did I respond both times? Okay. We will take these, we will discuss these in order that we have them. First, we will discuss the letter that we received from Mr. Kim's. And where it fit in the charter. Ordinance of legal. The floor is open for discussion. Well, now I would go, no one want to go first. I'll open it up.
I just have a question. When this email came to us, do you think Attorney Kim intentionally sent it to other than us? Or do you think it was a mistake? Or I couldn't understand how it would go to council when it was the EAB board's issue. I think that's where everything got started and everything got screwed up. Because he sent it to his, probably his, like we all have groups that we, put up for our emails. He sent it to everybody, which caused the issue. So I don't know whether he did it, was it an intentional act, or did he mean for everybody to get involved? Because if that's the case, then that's gonna continue to be an issue. I responded simply when Councilman Murphy responded, I responded to let him know, as a board member, I felt it was our issue. Our chair had called an emergency meeting, allow us to come together and deal with the issue. It should not have gone all around the way it happened. So when I responded to Councilman Murphy, it was simply to let him know, please, let's just pause and find out what we're dealing with here. We have a meeting, we had an emergency meeting scheduled, which got canceled. However, I think that maybe that's where the confusion began.
If I'm understanding, I agree with you on that one wholeheartedly. Because I asked that question myself when I saw the email come through. If this was a board issue, again, like you said, Mrs. Williams, why was this email attached to everybody on city council, including the city administrator in regards to this issue?
And the HR director.
Right, and the HR director and things of that nature. That was my issue. Because number one, what it does is, again, it opened it up to where we could have handled this as a board. Now you've opened it up to something that just exploded out of nowhere. We could have kept this under control. We could have handled this like a board. That's why I responded to that 5:30 in the morning email.
Well, mine was before 5:30. I think mine was like 4 in the morning.
Yeah, because I don't like being. I wake up at 7 o'clock in the morning to go to work. I don't like being woken up at 4:30, 5 o'clock in the morning by a blasted response talking about, well, I want to investigate this. Thank you for bringing this to our matter. I mean, I'm just gonna be honest with you.
And also,
we all have lanes to stay in. I wish we would all just stay in our lane. And that's why I appreciate your response was to give us time, but then he pressed the issue.
Right.
Which is why I said, okay, fine then. So obviously you don't respect board members enough to hear their weight, which is why I weighed in as the vice chair.
Right.
And I quoted every single section of the charter that puts the ombudsman under our authority to tell him, mind your business.
Right.
That's right.
But I wouldn't have had to have said that if everybody on council was added in that email. So
Exactly.
my question, and I'm like you, why were they included?
Right.
And that is a question that is a question for, well, I tell you, what's our legal? What's our attorney?
Well, we just.
Joe, question. I want to ask a question right quick. Is it normal for the city attorney when there's a board issue to CC council members in regards to board members only when it comes to stating an opinion?
I'm not certain if that's normal or if that's standard procedure. This is the first issue that I've had where the law department has issued a legal opinion dealing with a board or commission issue. So I'm not sure.
Okay. Okay, so, yeah, I'll.
And to Mr. King, and Mr. Harris, you guys being the chair and the vice chair, I would like to apologize.
No.
Well, as a board member, I'm a very aggressive individual, that you will find out. I want to know what's going on like right now. I was told by another board member that we usually allow the chair and the vice chair to respond. So it wasn't my place to respond. So I don't know how true that is. However, it prompted responses, okay? So I apologize if I was out of order by doing that.
No, that's why I responded to you, to give you the power that you needed, because normally when it comes to addressing things as board members, it's usually, or board issues, it's the chair, the vice chair, and the secretary. But in this case, it was so open to everybody, and I was reading it, so I was thankful that you did respond to Councilman Murphy's response. And that's why I responded to you to add additional weight to your comment as to, we need to figure out what was going on. You're okay. As far as I'm all right, you're all right.
I just want to make sure, I don't want to overstep my, I mean, I'm just.
Let me weigh in. That was sent out to everyone.
It was.
And you as a board member, and further concerned, you can respond. The process Mr. Kim did, and I find it unethical and immoral, is that should have been sent to me or the board.
Agreed.
Now, the question you asked me about and when I read it, and I saw it, and what came in my mind, and I'm sure of it, is Mr. Kim and them was taking it personal. I think it was deliberate there to try to make me look bad. It was deliberate. It was deliberate sent out to all those other people in order to make it believe.
Make us look bad.
He would have sent that out unless he was trying to find a spot he wanted to believe. What is embarrassing is no one should have been subject to what happened. There's no way this young lady should have been all the information out there unless he was going to put every candidate that came through out there.
Oh, that was, excuse me. The information that went out about her, that came to, you mean all of us?
It went to everybody.
It went
to everybody. However, it hit the public eye from someone within the people, yeah. I'm talking about the council got it, the EAB board got it, the HR director got it, and Attorney Kim's people got it, okay? The part that I couldn't understand is, if we got it, we should know better, okay? As board members, we got an email, we read the email, it was someone who leaked the email to the public. And then the public went to Facebook and Instagram with it, okay? That was someone from the public, so that needs to be investigated. And there's a way to do that. You can find out who sent the email to who.
Well, that's part of the conversation, like I was saying. It was intentional. It was intentional.
I don't think that was intentional from Attorney Kim.
Well, Attorney Kim, this was a board, this was a board matter. This was a board matter. Attorney Kim is the attorney for the city and this board. He should have, it was a board matter, and if we thought we did something against the charter, against the ordinance, he should have replied to me and let us know so this board can take care of it. You do not send that out to all these people that have nothing to do with the board.
That's right.
Have nothing to do with our decision.
They don't make decisions.
The idea was to send it all out there that it could be leaked by someone.
That's right.
That's right.
That's my opinion. I saw it. I've been around a day or two. But he took it personal. He personally was that me. Now, I'll tell you this. Now, I have asked Miss Leah to send personal, direct correspondence to Mr. Kim to give me an opinion on something 3-4 months ago. A couple of times. Mr. Kim have not replied back to me on his own opinion. And to come out here and I'm gonna say, and I guess I might have been a little strong with it when I accused him of doing that. I probably shouldn't say he did it on purpose. That's probably been something out there without proof. But when I looked at it and I confined him to a couple of attorney's friends of mine, and they thought the same thing. So I don't know about, but it never should have got out there, and it never should have been addressed out there, and it made me angry that she was subject to this. She was subject to it, and there's no reason she should have been. It would have been, Mr. Kim would not want anyone to put his information out there like that. None of you would want your information out there like that.
I don't think Mr. Kim put it on Facebook.
I'm sorry.
I don't think Mr. Kim put it on Facebook.
No, he did not. I'm saying he put it to all those people so somebody would.
That was totally ignorant, period.
Right. So, but that's my thought on that. I didn't want everyone to chime in this.
Certain information should be redacted.
Come back to try.
First of all, I know a lot of times I appear to be hostile, but it's because we're spinning our wheels doing the same thing over and over again, expecting a different outcome. I'm gonna be honest with my colleagues, and I take responsibility when I'm fussing at you guys and trying to push you forward, is because I saw this storm coming. Because I am on this board and have not been pleased for a long time, because it don't take much. That's what I was saying about the subpoenas and making them come before us and look us in our eyes.
Yes.
Because when they look you in your eyes and tell a lie,
Yes.
and this board is supposed to be so powerful, now I can hold you responsible.
Yes.
If you're not gonna hold anybody responsible, then you can't hold them accountable. So it's not everybody else, it's us. It was no accident this happened. It's the same old two-step. It's a distraction.
Yeah.
Now we're not moving forward. Now she's not sworn in. Now the business is being slowed down. And now we're sitting up here with this rift instead of moving forward like a functioning board with a competent ombudsperson. Okay, that's the problem. Because the bottom line is this. When this office called Davina to swear her in, it don't matter what his opinion is. That's his opinion. That's all it is. If we have so much authority And the charter is law. If the law says the last buck stops with this board,
That's it.
why are we all worked up about his opinion? Because they run us. And I've been telling y'all that. And this is a ploy to intimidate her because they don't want her. So they put her personal information out there. So that way if she holds somebody responsible, they know where she stays. Because they lost. Because they lost. Now, we can sit up here and pretend, why would they want to? That's why they would want to. Because when you're a criminal, when you're seeing people after people, when you attack people's jobs, when people speak out about your lawlessness, when you're unlawful, you get out. So they put her information out there in case she decided she wanted to do her job. They got somebody, anybody, because they put it on Facebook that can get out. Okay? Ain't no co-inky there. We can act like we don't know what happened. Attorney Kim has not stood up for anything lawful yet. Not as it pertains to the citizens, not as it pertains to law-abiding rules that govern this city. Okay? He don't work for us. He don't work for this city.
Right.
He worked for the administration. So we can keep sitting up here and we're going to check with it. That's why I asked this board, let's get us an attorney. But I got fought on that. See, and now we're being told we only got $8,000 to get a lawyer.
Carol, hold on, just one. With per the Open Meetings Act, we gotta keep that door open. Go ahead.
Anyway, the bottom line is this. We can keep assembling and talking about who did what to us and why they keep getting licks off us. Because you're too cowardly to stand up and fight back. Okay? So until you quit giving these speeches and stand up, because they busting you in your head anyway, so you may as well stand for something. This is my position. And I know y'all get mad at me because I'm aggressive and I speak so strongly. But this coward approach is getting us nowhere. So with that being said, if she is who we voted for, it's a matter of her getting sworn in. Now, I was told the only person to swear her in is the city clerk. Now, if the city clerk is not responding, and that's her job, then we need to subpoena her and find out why she thinks she ain't got to do her job. We need to start with her and bust down on her. And when she tells us somebody threatening her job, then bust down on them. But see, that takes courage.
That's right.
That takes courage. So if we're not going to have any, we'll be back here again shortly. Because guess what they got? Guts, courage, and nerve.
That's right.
And we don't have any of that stuff. So it's hard to hold unlawful people responsible. It's hard to stand up against people that are strong, whether they're right or wrong, when all you're going to do is send out some letters. And like they said, we supposed to send out some letters that ain't even went out. I'm not even sure when we send a letter out that the person that's supposed to be responding didn't even wrote them letters. Ain't no telling who to wrote us them letters. And we sitting up here like we fifth graders or kindergartners even and can't see these plays. This stuff is very simple. This is about, I'm going to say it again, this is about money, this is about control, okay? And we are being controlled, and they have our bag, which is our budget that this lady's supposed to operate from. She has never had the opportunity to truly be the ombuds person. Right. So we don't know if she qualified or not. But what I do know is this board voted for her. And we have every right to swear her in and give her the job. We haven't broken any rules. And if we have, let's do like everybody else got to do. Take us to court. See us across the street, people.
That's right.
We don't have that kind of nerve. We don't have that kind of nerve. That's it.
Put a motion on the floor. No, I'm having the demeanor over here, praying over here.
Excuse, but we should
put a motion on the floor. I'm just giving y'all suggestions, Joe. That's all.
Wait.
I'm just trying to help y'all out.
Let me say this to the people. You just trying to. And the reason I knew that they said to me, because I had already contacted somebody that is qualified to do a swearing in, but they said only the city clerk can do it. So that would tie our hands. So if our hands is tied to Davina, like I said, we got to address Davina. Because I don't care who told Davina not to swear her in. We told Davina we gave her the job.
Mr. King, I'm sorry.
Oh,
I do want to correct some information. I did speak to, and I do with William here, we talked about the information with the leaking. I did speak to on the phone when we talked about leaking the email. I was contacted by the press before I found out about it. And when I was on with the press, I read the email with Attorney Kim on the phone. And as I was reading the email to him, I believe it was 17 pages. In the 17 pages, I saw that her personal information was not redacted at that time. The press had been leaked the information. So it is not uncommon for whomever, including the administration, to leak it. Because I used to work for him, and that has happened before. And so that was leaked to the press. The press called me, and then they sent me, they contacted me, and I called him back, and we talked about information. I was troubled that her driver's license number had not been redacted, her date of birth had not been redacted, her address, her home phone number, all of her personal information, which could further go into identity theft. And when I asked Attorney Kim, why was it not redacted, his statement to me was, he did not have a responsibility to keep it from being leaked, and that he did not have a responsibility to redact it because if it was FOIA, it would not be redacted. At that time, he had some very heated words, and I hung up on him because I told him it was not fair, because I've seen documents, when you FOIA them, they are redacted. They're always redacted to protect the personal and its personal information. So this is a conversation him and I had. My mother was in the room because I could not choose my words properly at that point, because I should not know your address. I should know her driver's license number. So I just want to put some clarity.
Thank you.
Ms. Little, have you seen this information on Facebook?
Yes. The information I got a call from Metro. Okay. Information was leaked. It was leaked while I'm sitting in the office. I haven't sent some information to Mr. Kim. When I leave there, I get a call that's already on social media. And I'm not on social media. But it's out there. And how we move around town is one thing, but with that rest of the letter, I don't know. I got my own opinion. Everyone have an opinion with no proof who did it. So we gotta go investigate that too. We're not gonna investigate that.
What? Excuse me, can we hear what you say you're not gonna investigate the what?
You added something to what I'm saying. I didn't say anything about it.
Didn't he just say that? I ain't heard him say nothing. I'm just asking you, can you repeat it? I couldn't hear you.
Well, that's because if everyone be quiet, my voice is not that high, and then you hear me, okay?
Come on, Mr. King, man.
No,
I'm trying to respect you now, man.
We're not gonna go back and forth. I'm gonna ask you a question, but don't get back and forth. Don't do that.
I'm not getting back and forth.
Don't do that.
But don't disrespect me neither.
No, don't respect me.
I'm respecting you. I just asked that you repeat.
If you don't respect me, respect this position, okay?
I'm respecting the position.
All right. I'm gonna ask you a question, but we're not gonna carry on in here. What I said was, we got ways to investigate that. We wasn't gonna be trying to investigate tonight. We was trying to take care of business. That's what I said. So, well, that's it. But I said it in a way that, don't be defensive of me. Cause I'm gonna reach back. Let's go. This is the board.
My question was this: when did the job close?
Here's what we had. There's a whole lot of things that we're gonna talk about the job. On the level. We're getting off the topic.
Right, but
on the job.
Okay, but that question is gonna have to be answered, Mr. King.
But the job was closed. Now we closed the job, and I told them no. And close it. Now, here's what we did. We interviewed in December. No. We interviewed in November. We picked the candidate. That decided once we had chosen a candidate, they decided they did not want the job because of the benefit package. At that time, the board asked me to open up in 90 days in December. In December, I had H&R, call H&R to open it up in 90 days. They told me it had been opened back up. In January,
It had, right.
in January, not posted. It never was posted. Yeah, so at that time, the board started moving on a motion to make this live from the bus. We moved on that.
So you don't have
That,
any application from any other candidates from December?
No, well, it never was posted back out by the
So this is the thing, so we opened it up, I saw on Indeed that the posting opened up, when the board voted on it, I wanna say back in December. I saw where they opened it back up. But the problem is we weren't getting any feedback to any candidates who were responding to the job. And then also, I just found out, I don't know if it's still open or not, but Linda just sent me an email showing that it's not even when it was open, it wasn't posted on the city website.
Now look.
So even though it was open, it was impossible, because a lot of people put referrals through, they get contacted through, when they want a city job, they put them in. It responds back saying, hey, this position is opened up, you can respond to it. Well, when it's not posted, we're not gonna get any responses. Now, that's the only thing I can attest to.
I got a
Is I saw that.
I got a question.
We can't take any questions from the audience.
You took a question over there.
We're not supposed to. I'm being honest with you, we're not supposed to dialogue back and forth.
But you did.
But we're not supposed to.
It's a quick question. It's a quick question. Did the board open it back up, or did a few people from the board open it back up?
No, the whole board.
Yeah, this is a board. Go ahead.
So that's where I know that it came from, was that we were opening it up for the 90-day period because the board voted on it. So when we had our meeting in the early part of January, that's why I said that the 90 days that the board had asked to, before we closed it, to wait for the 90-day period again to close before we did any kind of decisions. That was my recommendation. We were all there, and I said that on the 9th. But yeah, that's where we're at.
But don't you remember me asking that question?
Yeah, you did. That's why we all said it was posted. From Indeed's perspective, it said posted since December 17th. But the problem that I'm having is that it was not posted on the city website. It was not posted anywhere else for even if people wanted to apply. They made it a restriction for folk to apply. And I don't know if HR dropped the ball or what.
Well, a couple of things happened. One, there's a request to put it on the agenda to be discussed. And the board voted to bring it up on the agenda. I put it on the agenda. The board discussed it, and the board decided at that point to majority of the board Ms. Billy Giles. Now the board, whether it was right, wrong, what happened, well, HR did anything, that was the majority of the board decision. Whether it was open or closed, it was our decision to move on. So we have to live with our own decision.
That's right.
So it.
You just go in.
It's what it is. It's what it is now. The problem of it is now.
We need to make sure that there aren't any other candidates who were qualified for this job and not given an opportunity.
No. So we interviewed all the candidates.
You already know.
Here's what we had. We had, later we took all the applications that were qualified and went through it and picked the one that we were interviewed. That was committed. And those are the ones that we interviewed.
And don't get me wrong, I am not in any way against against the selection of the board. What I am trying to make sure of is that we're not opening up ourselves for litigation, because you know, they love to sue, okay? So I just want to make sure that everything is, T's are crossed and I's are dotted, so that when we do make the selection and make it public, that no one is able.
Here's what the,
I just know what you mean. I just know what you mean.
yeah,
We have not made a decision.
let's put it like this. There's some information, and I looked at Mr. Kim, information where he came up with an ordinance. Now, this ordinance, I had never seen the ordinance. The ordinance was read, and I came, because I left it on my desk. That ordinance was dead in 2019 under the previous administration. And I see part of that administration is part of that problem. But I had downloaded the city ordinance. I believe a couple of weeks ago, it's been this year, and I did not see that ordinance. I don't know where where the ordinance came from, but what I did ask, but talking to some legal sources, and they're telling me that if that ordinance, if it is ordinance, then Mr. Kim, by that ordinance, Mr. Kim probably was right if he went by that, but with the information that we have been using, and from HR, qualified candidates, and I think some of you have those. And they're different. Now, by right, that order should have came up when Ms. Leah was first made in turn. That should have been presented. The board should have known something.
Can you read the ordinance?
Are y'all ready?
I got it right here.
Yeah, you got it.
All right. Ordinance number 159. An ordinance to amend the Flint City Code of Ordinance by adopting Article 6, Chapter 35, Personnel, Section 35-112.14. Adoption, job description and qualifications of a person. It is hereby ordained by the people of the city of Flint, Section 112, that Section 35-112 of the Code of City of Flint shall be amended as follows. Article 6, Personnel Code, 3-112.4, adoption, job description, qualifications of that person. Pursuant to the provisions of the Flint City Charter of 1-501B, the job description and qualifications are hereby adopted by reference and attached hereto. This ordinance shall become effective immediately upon publication. Adopted this day, the 13th of May, 2019, by Mayor Karen W. Weaver and City Clerk Inez M. Brown. And this ordinance goes into the full description of what the ombudsman's duties and job is supposed to be.
What is the violation? I want to hear where we have violation.
So from this opinion, from what I gathered from Attorney Kim,
Just his opinion.
the violation is that we did not go according to the ordinance that was passed in 2019 for the ombudsman, because the mayor has the responsibility to setting the duties and job descriptions for all principal officers. And because she falls as a principal officer, they're saying that this is what we were bound by to hold. So the minimum requirements of this: a bachelor's degree from accredited college or university in public administration, dispute resolution, psychology, social work, human services, a related field or equivalent experience. Master's degree preferred, that's A. B, 5 years of experience in municipal, state, or federal government.
And when she was in the school system for years, and that counts as the government.
Let me finish.
If you are a teacher, you work for the government.
Let me finish.
Let him finish reading so we can.
Please.
Ability and willingness to work with both legislative and executive branches of government. D, knowledge of pertinent laws and regulations. C, 5 years of experience in counseling and or alternative dispute resolution. Examples: mediation, negotiations. F, demonstrated investigative and analytical skills. G, demonstrated ability to manage multiple tasks in a professional and timely manner. H, demonstrated ability and willingness to work with various ethnic, social, and age groups. I, strong professional, civic, or community service background. J, demonstrated ability to supervise the staff of the Office of Ombudsman. And K, computer literate with excellent written and oral communication skills. That's what the ordinance holds us bound by.
And she meet all.
That's a job description for me and me. That's a job description for May Jameson.
ain't got all of that. Human resources interview somebody with no resume.
So,
And when you say mediation, she was a special ed teacher, so she has plenty mediation.
so according to this, according to a MERS revised Department of HR, which is June 23rd of 2023. This is when we went in and we modified it because we weren't getting enough bites. It says this: essential duties and responsibilities. 1, establishes rules for receiving, processing complaints, conducting investigations, hearings, and reporting files. 2, provides an informal internal avenue of resolution of complaints, attempts to resolve in lieu of formal proceedings. These are the essential duties and responsibilities. Forgive me. Must possess a high level of integrity, handles all inquiries, complaints, investigations in a professional, confidential manner. Works to promote a relationship of trust and cooperation with the organization. May subpoena witnesses, administer oath, take testimony, require production of evidence relevant to a matter under investigation.
Where is the violation?
7, applies to appropriate courts to enforce subpoenas or orders. 8, delegates in writing to members of the staff the power to administer oaths and take testimony as required. 9, provides an annual public report on complaints received and actions taken by the auditor's office. Here are the minimum requirements: bachelor's degree from accredited college or university of public administration, dispute resolution, psychology, social work, human services, or a related field. Relevant, this is where we changed. The board added this caveat: relevant experience may be substituted on a year-for-year basis in lieu of education. Master's degree preferred. 5 years of experience in investigative work and or alternative dispute resolution. Examples: mediation, negotiations, complaint handling, or conflict resolution. Some experience in municipal, state, or federal government preferred. Thank you. So these are changes that the board made in June because we weren't getting enough bites or qualified people. Yeah, the board made these changes.
Where is the violation was my question.
Hold on. The violation is they're saying
I don't care what they're saying.
that I'm trying to get you where the violation is. The violation they're saying is the 2019 ordinance. that the board did not have the authority to amend an ordinance. And that ordinance amendment, that ordinance.
She should have got the job after 90 days.
So this is I'm trying to tell you, this is the infraction that they're saying we have. The infraction is that the board did not have the authority for the June modification because it was already in place in the ordinance. Like, we can't change an ordinance. That can only be done by the mayor's office or by city council.
But you didn't change the ordinance.
Yes, we did.
And no matter what, she beat all the qualifications.
So this is the thing. They're saying that Ms. Little did not meet the qualifications according.
So what you saying?
According to the May 2019 ordinance. That's what all this legal opinion is about and why we were stopped. They were saying that we don't have the authority to do it per the 2019 city ordinance.
We don't have the authority to hire?
No, we don't have the authority to change the job duties to hire.
Okay, that's fine. She meet all the qualifications, the new ones, the old ones, the ones from last year. I said, where's the violation?
Let me say, I have talked to two practicing attorneys that used to be city attorneys, and they have read this ordinance, and they are telling me that ordinance, if that ordinance, I don't know where it came from. Then that ordinance is what we have to lie.
Okay, is that y'all attorney over there? Is that guy attorney?
Hold up.
Is he an attorney?
No, hold up.
Is he y'all attorney?
No.
What the hell are you doing?
I'm speaking now.
I'm sorry, excuse me.
We're not gonna do that.
I'm sorry.
We're not gonna do that here.
I'm sorry.
All right. Now, two legal with almost 100 years of experience have advised me. No, I'm not. I would be someone who would not tell me a lie. Okay. They would not lie to me. Whether I like it or not. I'll tell you like you told me. These attorneys that I spoke to, that I went to, all of them, and I've been talking to them back and forth. Now, this ordinance, I don't know, you was in there with this ordinance, but here's something I have with that. That people should listen. We're not going to change that. This board was not put together until we were sworn in July of 2019. I'm looking at an ordinance in April.
This ordinance was done in May of 2019 before the board was established.
Right. So that's something that
keep going. They keep moving the
it's
goalposts.
disturbing that how would that be?
Goalposts every time you get to the goalpost, they keep
Now we were in was Gail, none of y'all was involved in what we were doing before that. So I don't know. But the problem of it is we got to have the facts. We got to have the facts, and that's why we're trying to find our own legal.
Yo, but I'm still asking, that guy, y'all attorney, ain't y'all got attorney sitting here?
No, that's the city attorney. They want.
What he here for?
to reinforce.
Wait a minute.
No.
He here for Joe.
He's done it. He's done it. His order come from his boss, Mr. Kim, but he's going to not trust. I trust him. He haven't told me, but the question we're going to ask, I'm pretty sure he's not going to be the answer. He's not going to answer. But what I have right now, dates and time of this ordinance. There seems to be something wrong with that.
The fact of the matter is, offered her that job, and y'all voted for her to have that job. And I also know that you guys can change the qualifications for her to have the job. She's been doing it, excuse me, me. I haven't said anything. I haven't said anything.
Excuse me,
But she's been doing that job. The
excuse me,
whole office
excuse
she's
me,
been running
excuse
by
me,
herself.
excuse me. This is the board now right now. Okay, we have to figure, we have to figure out how we're gonna proceed. Now, my legal, people that legal advise me, they tell me only by that ordinance. Council can go back and do it. They can waive it, council can waive it, that ordinance. We can't.
Can they make an amendment?
Yes, that's why I read the ordinance so you guys can understand that. We couldn't change the ordinance. We didn't know that this ordinance existed. When we were given the job description, we originally thought it was a job description that we could modify. We didn't know that the job description was a city ordinance. And that we couldn't change.
Original question.
Right. So according to the original ordinance, tell us what in there she was not qualified for. Because everything you read, she was qualified. She was qualified. It was the original ordinance. She was qualified.
You ain't gonna have to back. Can I speak since I'm on the board? May I say something?
So that's the genuine problem. Is that. That's why the legal opinion went out, and that's why everything was because of they knew that this was gonna happen. They knew about the ordinance ahead of time, and we didn't know. We didn't.
She asked for the floor. She's not qualified for original ordinance.
So I still have the floor. I had to let them.
What did she not qualify for? Damn.
Okay, we got Ms. McIntosh and
Go ahead, Carol.
Ms. Booth.
First of all, like I said a long time ago, she's qualified. This is not her only job. Number one. Number two, HR brought somebody before us, was trying to slide somebody in that didn't even have a resume, okay? And the guidelines said you must have a resume. Number three, every time we try to do something, this happens. I asked one question, where's the violation? And I ain't heard that yet. It's been 30 minutes now. Here's the bottom line. We voted for this woman. Now I'm telling y'all what all happened. And then I'm finna leave. Because I'm not going to keep wasting my time. We voted for somebody.
Yeah.
Everybody that was at the meeting voted for her. Okay? Now, because somebody don't want her to have a job.
Technicalities.
Then he came up with this mess. And this whole board, you said, well, should she have it? We about to repost it. See? Because somebody's called them and told them so. Kim can't tell us nothing about nothing when we try to get on the front end.
Right, that's right.
Okay? Now, we tried to hire somebody else. We did. We haven't broken any rules. This job has been posted for the longest. This last round wasn't the only round. It was a round before that. We couldn't get nobody. That's number one. And when we did get somebody, they didn't want the job. But yet still, here's Miss Shasta. Being faithful, doing the job, meeting the qualifications, doing 3 or 4 jobs by herself. So that's what prompted this board to have a humanitarian spirit for one moment. We said, hey, nobody wants the job. And if they do want it, they're not qualified. Period. Nowhere close. And then she should be given a chance because she's been doing her job, somebody else's job, paying for it out of her pocket, keeping us in the loop. When we falling off, she keeping us on. They slandering this woman. This ain't the first letter went out about her. Before she got the job, it was a letter out about her, how she did from Mr. Edwards. That she wasn't this and she wasn't that. And we were supposed to get him straight about that. And guess what? Letter ain't went out yet. And if it had, we don't know nothing about it. It was supposed to come before this board, and we was all supposed to look at it as a board. This board voted for an independent attorney to hear from somebody. We had somebody in the community that was willing to come before us for free. Yet still that hasn't happened. But Mr. King is talking to his legal friends, getting advice only to him if we are bored and they your friends while we all can't hear. No, wait a minute, I'm not done, just like he wasn't done. And then y'all be down here, and I understand that you the key people, but you be down here meeting about ethics and accountability issues, talking to the administration and this board. You don't bring it before us. We don't know what you talked about, how many meetings you didn't have, or none of that. If you was down here personally, or if it was business, which that's your right to have personal relationship. But every time we come to this board table, somebody's talking about a meeting they didn't have with somebody, and we ain't got all the information. We don't know what. See, and then you come back to this table perplexed with a change of heart. And then the rest of us who thought we were getting somewhere the last meeting come back, and it's this right here. Now this one done changed their mind, that one done changed, this one over here, then they come up with these old fake plays to throw the ball. Ordinance 179. No, if she's not qualified, you need to be able to say, this right here does not qualify her. Her teaching experience is no good. Her public service is no good. Her this is no good. Go down her resume and tell me why the stuff on her resume does not qualify her for a job. And like they said, this charter says, if you've been interim for 90 days, you supposed to get the job.
Right.
This lady has been on the job over a year. And now that we voted for her, it's a big stink and your undies in a while. Do you got somebody else qualified wanting to do it? Because they got sworn in before her. Because it ain't because we ain't waited on nobody else. It ain't because we ain't waiting on nobody else. What? Good. I'm gonna go, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm sorry. Just go down to Shel Millie's office and ask him who he wants. Why don't? So we ain't gotta keep wasting time. Y'all going on. Y'all let me know what you're coming on.
Jesus, that don't right talk.
See up here all this round and round.
I don't need to grow a pair of balls, man.
Oh, yeah,
You wrong. You wrong now.
I guess we don't have.
Yeah, no.
They got a quorum, man.
No.
It's five.
We had some more to vote on.
Council, 6
We had
residents,
some
we
to
have
vote
11
on.
board members.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we gotta have
Got
6
two members.
Okay.
What?
Meeting adjourned.
He has to adjourn the meeting, you can talk. He has to adjourn the meeting.
So what is the meeting for?
We had stuff to vote on 2 days later. Just like city council.
Absolutely.
So then she got the job or not?
Because we had a budget to pass.
Yeah.
We needed to pass this budget.
You know, we need an ombudsman.
We had witnesses. We had stuff to vote on. 2 members walked out the meeting.
How much money
Just
y'all
like
got
they
in
do
the
in the
treasury
city
for our
council.
money? Don't y'all get funded every year?
That's what we were
We were
supposed
funded
to
like
discuss.
city council. But it
Come into y'all.
Yeah, the ombudsman has a minimum requirement of 250.
Right.
That's why we're gonna discuss the board's budget and discuss the budget as a whole. When we lost 4, we can discuss the
But if
budget.
the 250 come into y'all account,